How does a sourdough? Testing different inclusions to see if it's a hit or a miss. Starting with brown butter sourdough inspired by the viral sourdough croissant. The night before we make the dough, we're going to make the levain, which is basically water, flour, and starter. I used a 1:2 ratio. Give it a good stir until it gets to this consistency or that. I'm also going to make some brown butter. I'm using a French butter today and melting it on the stove top until it gets a dark amber color, as you can see here. Keep it at room temperature until it solidifies. I like to wrap it onto parchment paper and freeze it so I can use it for later. The next day we're going to make the dough. We're going to start with an autolyse by mixing water and flour. Give it a good mix until there's no dry bits and you get a shaggy dough. Cover and let it sit until your levain is ready. When the levain is ready, we're going to add salt, honey, give it a good mix. I forgot to add the levain, so I'm going to add it here. And then give it another good mix. Cover and let it rest for 1 hour. Now we're going to start with stretch and folds. You're going to stretch the dough and fold it over. Cover and let it rest for 30 minutes. Do another set of stretch and folds. Cover and rest for 30 minutes. On the third set of stretch and folds, you're going to start adding the cold butter in. Grate your butter and perform another set of stretch and folds. We're going to be adding about half your butter at this time. Cover and let sit for 30 minutes. On the final set of stretch and folds, you're going to grate in the remaining butter, cover, and let it sit until bulk fermentation is complete. It's time to start shaping the dough. We're going to put it onto the work surface, stretch out the dough, and we're going to fold it over as seen here. Transfer your dough onto a parchment-lined bandaged and covered with rice flour. Stitch the dough. Then you'll pop it in the fridge overnight. See you tomorrow. The next day, I took the dough from the fridge, put it onto parchment paper, dusted off the excess flour and scored. Preheat the oven to 430 degrees Fahrenheit with the Dutch oven in for at least 45 minutes. Add the dough into the Dutch oven and bake it in the oven for 25 minutes with the lid on and 30 minutes with the lid off. And this is the final product. There is beautiful blistering, some layers, like a croissant. This is the crumb shot. So how did it sourdough? It was a hit. Crispy, thin outer layer. Inside it was buttery with a slight caramel note and a hint of sweetness. This tastes the best after it cooled down for about an hour. Top it with extra brown butter and honey, and it was even more delicious. Happy sourdoughing.